Welcome to the Mystery Mouse Knitting Podcast. My name is Holly, and I'm coming to you from Colorado, where I live with my husband and our 5 kids and our many pets. And today is Tuesday, April 18th. And this is a podcast mostly about knitting, some plans for spinning, no spinning today, but plans and my shop update. There's no book talk today, which is kind of sad, but I have been very busy, so I'll tell you about that in a little life update at the end. But to get right into it, I don't have any finished objects today, so I'm going to talk about my whips. And first of all, I want to show you my Beauty and the Beast sweater. So as you can see, I've bound off from the bottom. I'm super, super happy with how this is going, but I have to get now the sleeves done. So I need to get this put back on the needle and do the sleeves. And I'm gonna have to do the Mrs. Potts on the sleeve. And I've had a few people ask me how I'm gonna do the sleeves, and I think what I'm gonna do is do sections. So I'll start with the Mrs. Potts. I'll do Mrs. Potts on both sides. And then I'm going to repeat my fleur-de-lis on the sleeves also. So I'll do that section on one side and then the other side, and then I'll do both the cuffs. And I think because of the way this sweater has turned out, it's kind of a cropped sweater. I think what I'm going to do is not do any decreases on the sleeves, which will make the color work a lot easier anyway. But and then do a rapid decrease before the cuff, which will give me a little balloon sleeve. I do not have any balloon sleeve sweaters. It's not my normal thing, but I think that's what I'm gonna do with this. And I am already planning another one of these because what I really want is a cardigan. And I think I wanna do this as a pullover because I could steek it. I actually was thinking about that, but I think what I'm gonna do is knit another one as a cardigan, maybe in DK weight. So this isn't the last time you're gonna see one of these, but that's my plans for this for now. Just have to do the sleeves, and then that will be done. And I actually did wear this when I went to the Interweave Yarn Fest on Friday, so which I will tell you all about also today. And I had a couple people say that they liked it, and I told them where I got the pattern and stuff. So that is the Beauty and the Beast pullover by Regan. It's in the Knitting with Disney book. Also, in my little kitty bag from Delightful Works, I have been working on Mary's Rosella shawl by Louisa. And of course, I'm doing short rows, so I never am at the end of a row. But it's getting much deeper, as you can see. At least I don't think I'm ever at the end of a row, am I? No, I don't think so. And I am getting really close to being done with the short rows. This is a very narrow shawl, and I'm sorry, it just looks like a donut. Hello. It's just a yellow donut right now, but I think you get down to the middle 20 or so stitches doing your short rows, and then you do all the sides. And so I'm getting really close. I'm not quite there yet, but you can see my short rows. I'm doing German short rows, which I love because they're so much easier to pick up. So I probably only have a couple more repeats before I'm done with the short row section, and I can move on to the ruffle border. And so this is going well. This is still in the mindless knit category. I don't know how difficult the lace is. It doesn't look very difficult. So hopefully this will continue to be an easy project. And I'm knitting this in my own hand-dyed yarn in my Nancy colorway. And this is a wool silk blend. And it's kind of like a creamy yellow with some hot pink speckles. And this is for my daughter, Mary. It's a DK. So that is how that's going. I'm really enjoying this. I haven't worked on it. I didn't work on it this past week or so, but I was doing it a lot the week before. So that's going pretty quickly. And then in my other delightful, well, this is not my only other Delightful Works bag, but in another Delightful Works bag, I have two projects, and one I cannot show you because it's my secret advent calendar knitting. So I'm designing a shawl for my advent calendar in my shop, and I wish I could show it to you because I think it's going along really good. I'm trying to do two things. I'm trying to design a shawl that is easy to knit, like with memorizable repeats and stuff like that, but that is interesting to knit. And those two things, you know, they're a challenge to find that balance. So that's what I'm working on with that. So I cannot show you that, but I can show you this. I started Grady's Batman vest. So I'm just making this up. I started at the bottom. I think this is like a DK light worsted kind of gauge. This is called, let's see what this yarn is. I have the ball band. It's Yarn Bee, which is Hobby Lobby yarn, Must Be Merino. And I think this is for the what's it called? The ribbing, because it's teal, and then this is aqua. So I've just cast on the ribbing, and then I changed to a larger needle size. And here you can see this is my arm side opening. I think it's called an arm side. And it looks really big, but you remember you got to do like an inch of ribbing around the arms. And I have tried to sort of hold this up to him. And every time I do, he's like, no, no, which I hope doesn't mean he's not going to want to wear it. But this is the back, and I've only finished one of these shoulder pieces, shoulder straps. And I did a few short rows in there so it kind of curves to the side a little bit, which I think looks really nice. So I'm at that point now where I've got to do that on this side. And what is this? Oh, there was a knot in the yarn. So I just like left a big loop, and I'll weave it in like it's a new skein later. But so I'm going to cast off on the next couple rows, a couple more stitches by the neck to get that nice curve around the neck. And then I'll do some short rows on this side to make this sleeve go down that way. And then I will make the front to match, except that it will have a V-neck. So, and it'll be lower in the front than it is in the back, obviously. So with that, this was really, really quick to knit. And it's, you know, you always forget, I don't know how or why, but you always forget how quick baby knits are in between when you're knitting grown-up things. But that's coming along really good, and my plan is to put the Batman logo on with duplicate stitch on the front. I'd kind of like to do the old school Batman logo with the yellow oval and then the bat in the middle. So, but I have to find a yellow because I have black in this yarn, but they didn't have a yellow. So I'm gonna have to find that. But that's in there and coming along nicely. And that is actually all the knitting I think I've done since my last podcast. I still have to wind up yarn for my Everywhere sweater. I still have to get another needle for my, for Toby's night sweater. And I did order that already, so I'm waiting for that to come. And I got free shipping, so it's not coming quickly. All right, but another whip I want to show you is my cross stitch that I'm doing for my mom for Christmas. So this is the Dimensions Winter Wonderland kit that I bought at a used craft store. And I've gotten quite a bit done. Not a ton, but I just want to show you because I need the accountability. So last time, I think the first week or so, I had these trees done, and then I did this. And now I am working on the horse and the sleigh, which is like the focal point, so that's kind of nice. And I'm changing up the pattern because, not like where things are, but on some of these things, they have you do half cross stitches for things that are in the foreground, and I want to do those as whole cross stitches. And then I want to do most of the background, like the faraway background or even the foreground, if it's kind of, I don't know, less, how do I say this? Less sharp. I want to do that in half cross stitch, so I'm kind of just changing up Sometimes when it says to do half cross stitch, I'm not. So, but anyway, I think that's coming along really good. And I'm happy to be making progress on that because cross stitch takes a long time. And even though Christmas is far away, I know that if I have too much left to do, I just won't finish it. Okay. A random thing I wanted to show you was the other day I found these baby socks that I had knit for Grady when he was a little baby. And I thought I would see if they fit on his fox, and they do. So now he has a fox in socks. And I just thought that was really funny. I thought that would be a really great baby gift, to get somebody a fox and give them that Dr. Seuss book, Fox and Socks. So I just like you to know, sometimes these baby things can live on, even though your baby has outgrown them. And the same goes for baby sweaters. A lot of times a very newborn baby sweater will fit on a teddy bear and be adorable forever. So I just thought I'd show you that. I think it's funny. And I was really glad because I put the socks on the fox, and I was a little worried that Grady would be like, no. Like, you know how they think you're ruining stuff when you are trying to make them extra cute, but he didn't. He left them on, so it's very cute. Okay, now for shop news. My advent calendar was released on April 8th, which was a couple Saturdays ago. And thank you so much if you bought an advent calendar. That release went really well. I have some left, but they're going a lot quicker than they did last year. So I just want to let you know my advent calendar, once again, is called Christie for Christmas. It's an Agatha Christie mystery. It's a mystery as to which mystery it is. And there is a mystery knit along, because you'll get the yarn and you'll get a shawl pattern. And I'm not putting any pictures of the shawl in the pattern, so you just follow along and see what you get when you're done. And I am really excited about it. I've been thinking about this for a long time, so I hope that if you are an Agatha Christie fan, if you love mysteries, that you will consider my advent calendar. It's available in my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description box below. And also, I released on April 8th, I have a Mother's Day mystery set, which is a mystery sock set. It comes with two 20-gram minis and a full 100-gram skein of yarn. And it's based on one of my mom's teacups from her teacup collection. And the teacup I chose, I'll put a picture of it up here. The picture, or the teacup that I chose, is called Memory Lane. And it was actually a teacup set. It was a whole, I think it's a whole china set that belonged to my grandmother, that my grandpap got for her on one of their anniversaries. So it's a very sweet memory for me, and I always remember it being in my grandmother's house, and now my mom has it. So that is what I'm basing my Mother's Day set on. And it also is going to come with a stitch marker or a progress keeper, something like that, and some treats. So I hope that you will ask someone to get you a Mother's Day present, or you could get it for yourself, or whatever. But I'm really excited about that. And that is going to close because I want to mail those out the first week of May. That is going to close on April 30th. So please get it before April 30th if you want it. On Friday, I went to the Interweave Yarn Fest Marketplace with my friend Andrea, and we had so much fun, and we bought a bunch of stuff. So I wanted to put in some video of the marketplace. Maybe I will do that while I'm talking. Just show you around a little bit. I am not a very good vlogger, but I did my best to just kind of capture the bigness and all of the vendors that were there. It was interesting because it looks like they were sharing the marketplace with some sewing event that was also taking place. I think it was Sew News, and it looks like they're probably in a sister magazine of Interweave. But so there were a few sewing type booths with sewing machines. There were some quilts that were hanging up. It looks like they were cover photos from the magazine. But there were plenty of yarn vendors that were there. I think it's Greenwood Fiber Co. was there. Sun Valley Fibers, Leading Men Fiber Arts. There were a few yarn shops that were there. Longmont Yarn Shop, which I've never been to. I really should go. That's about half an hour away from me, maybe a little more. Plus many, many others that I've either never heard of or just don't remember off the top of my head. Oh, I know, Western Skyknits was there. Brown Sheep Yarn Co. And there was an alpaca place that was local that I actually bought something from. So anyway, it was really beautiful and nice. And the marketplace is in a big ballroom. And it's quite large. And I think there were a few less vendors than the year before, which I thought was interesting because it was packed the year before. And I think that they said all the vendors sold out, which is amazing. So I don't know why it was a little smaller this year. There just seemed to be a little more room to move around. And there was one bag company there that I think was about to sell out. We went on Friday and they opened on Thursday. So they must have really sold a lot on Thursday. So it was just really fun. It's kind of the only local to me yarn event that I go to every year. I've gone, I went a couple years before the pandemic, and then I've gone the last 2 or 3 years. Maybe last year was the first year they had it since the pandemic. I don't remember, but it was really fun. And Andrea and I had a lot of fun, and it's so nice to go with another knitter because it's hard sometimes to know what to buy, you know, what looks good together. You just need someone to ask because, I don't know, sometimes it's just hard to make decisions by yourself. So, but I wanted to show you what I got. Everything I got is in this big bag from Sun Valley Fibers. I always shop at Sun Valley Fibers because they have beautiful yarn, and it's a husband and wife team. And the husband is so nice. He's just so helpful, and he always gives me a really nice bag. So I bought several things from him, and he gave me this huge bag. So, but first of all, let me start with some fiber. I got some spinning stuff. Now, I went out with the intention of getting spinning wheel oil because I thought surely someone will have spinning wheel oil. Well, no one did, but there was a lady from Shacked. They had a booth, the Shacked Spinning Wheel Company, which my spinning wheel is a Shacked Ladybug. And she said, oh, don't worry about it. It's just machine oil or engine oil or something like that. And so I was like, oh, good, because that's what I've been using. And I was worried that I was ruining my spinning wheel. And she was like, no, don't worry about it. So, but anyway, I got some fiber. I got this beautiful braid from Greenwood. Let me roll it up. Greenwood Fiber Co. And it's called, the color is called Sherbet or Sherbet. I would say Sherbet. Doesn't everybody say Sherbet? Anyway, I just love these colors. They're so springy. And this is a really interesting blend. It's 50% merino, 25% bamboo, and 25% silk. And so it's so soft. It's ridiculous. And I love you can see the kind of variegated look you get within the colors from the different fibers and how they took the colors. So I'm really excited for that. And I also got some more little pigtails. I got some of these last year, and I thought, well, I'll just get more. Even though I haven't spun them yet, because then I'll have more. And I don't know why that cracks me up. This is the Sherbet color, Sherbet, whatever. This is the Sherbet color again in just, I think this is just merino. So I think that's interesting how it looks. You can tell it's the same color, but it does look a little different. And then I got this one. This is Meteor Shower, Twilight, Bountiful, and Arcade. And I just want, I'm gonna put these with the ones I got last year because I think I got 5 last year. So I'll have 10. And how many ounces are these? Let me see. There's just called pigtails. Oh, 0.6 ounces, no, 0.4 to 0.6, so like half an ounce. And so then I'll have 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce, 4 ounce, 5 ounce. I'll have 5 ounces, right? Yeah, something like that. So I'll have 5 ounces, and I just want to spin like a two ply Barber Poli color change yarn. That's my plan. So I am very excited about that. I'm excited to be excited about spinning. It's one of those things, Stephanie from Texas Peach Knits was talking about this. It's kind of a seasonal thing. I know that I bought my spinning wheel in the summer. And so it just, when the summer starts to come around again, I think of it. And it's not because I don't like to knit in the summer, because I knit all the time, but I just think of it in the summer. So I just thought that was funny she said that, because I think of that too. All right, some other things that I got. Oh, this is the alpaca yarn. So if you remember a few episodes ago, I showed some alpaca yarn that someone had gifted me. There was a dark brown and a cream, and I wasn't sure what to do with it. I kind of wanted to do some color work, but I don't know. I just didn't know what to do. Well, I bought this, and this is actually a DK, but it looks very similar to the yarn that I was gifted. It's 80% alpaca, 20% camel and silk DK. Maverick, maybe that's the color. It's 3 ounces, 200 yards. And I just think it's so pretty. I wish you could feel it. It's so soft. And so I think I'm going to put this with those other 2 yarns and see what I can come up with. But it's so pretty. It's just a very pale pink, and the different fibers are also taking the color differently. And so that is my plan for that. And let's see, are we to my Sun Valley fibers? I have one more thing. I bought a bag, because I do not have a bag like this, and I'm a sucker for these kind of quilted bags that use different fabrics. So these are all like batik fabrics. It's covered with fluff from all my yarn. And I just thought this was so pretty and different. And it's just a zipper bag, a zipper like pouch. It's got a gray pattern lining. And this was sold at a booth called A Fox Fibers, I think. I'll try to link it below if I can find it. I asked the lady at the booth if she was online, and she said yes, but she said she did a lot of events, so she didn't actually do a lot with her online store, which I thought was interesting. But she was a yarn dyer, and I think her friend makes bags, so it doesn't have a label on it or anything, but I just thought it was really pretty. Okay, and now I'm going to show you what I got at Sun Valley Fibers, because I think I did the most damage there. First of all, they had sock tubes, and I was kind of excited about that, because I wanted to get my husband, well, some yarn to knit socks for my husband, because that's mostly what I knit for him. But it takes forever. I mean, like if you had watched the last few episodes, you would have seen my 70s socks, which took me like 2 years. I mean, 2 years, that's ridiculous, right? So, and it's just because I didn't work on them like faithfully. I was lured away by other things. So I thought, well, I want to get him some more yarn, but then I saw these sock tubes. Now, what I thought was interesting about this is, I mean, obviously this is a self-patterning yarn. It's really long. It must be the whole skein of yarn, I think, right? And it's got the waist yarn at the ends. This is only a 60 stitch tube, and so I was kind of worried, like, is this going to fit him? So I actually had him try it on his foot, and he got it all the way up over his heel and everything without a heel in here. So I thought, okay, good. They're going to be fine. So I actually texted a picture of kind of the row that I thought he would like when I was there, and he picked out this one. So I'm not sure what the color is or anything, but it's so pretty. And so I'm just going to be cutting that and putting in cuffs and heels and toes. And I'll have to try to find some yarn that coordinates with this. This is kind of rustic. It feels like a Regia or an Opal sock yarn. So I'm not sure what it is, but that's for my husband, for David. And then I also got one for my son Teddy, because his birthday is coming up. it's actually a week from today. I need to get started on this. And I got this one for him, so I thought I could make him socks for his birthday. I just really liked this pattern. I kind of wanted to get him a red because his favorite color is red, but I just didn't see any that I really, really liked. And sometimes red, if it's not like a really bright, strong fire engine red, it kind of tends to read a little pink. So I didn't want to get him anything that he thought was pink. That's just not his style. So I think that will be really nice for him. And I'm hoping to have that done for his birthday, so I need to get on the stick. That's my job for this coming weekend. So I have been keeping those in my little bag. Now I did get a sock yarn that was for me at Sun Valley Fibers. I got this. It's called, let's see, 7525 Merino Nylon Fingering, 400 yard superwash, and it's Super Garn color 7535. This is a self-patterning yarn like Regia or and so I don't know if they dyed this. I assume they did, but this is a really beautiful, as you can see, red and green. So these are going to be Christmas socks for me. And I didn't see this pattern in the sock tubes. I might have been tempted to get it. But they had a big long tube with all of these self-patterning yarns knit up. And so I could see, and they had the number on it, so you could see what it looked like, which was really helpful. And I really like this one. So I'm going to knit these for me for Christmas socks. And then the other thing, I got one other thing. And those sock tubes came on these nice rings. And they have the information on them. Then the other thing, the last thing I got, this is the last thing, right? The last thing I got was this. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it. It kind of reminds me of this. Isn't it kind of like in the same color family as my sherbet? But anyway, they had a whole bunch of these 6 kind of mini skein sets. I think these are 25 gram mini skeins. Are they, or are they 50 gram? It might be 50 gram. I don't know. When did you say? What is the weight? The weight's all covered up. Maybe it says 30 grams. Hold on, I'll check. Oh, 33 grams. Interesting. So these are 33 grams. And I really liked this set because it's got a tonal and then a variegated, a tonal and a variegated, a tonal and a variegated. And I just thought that was such a nice combination. And this is fingering weight, and it's an 80-10-10 merino, cashmere, and nylon. And they have all the colors. Oh, and it says, 780 yards per set. And it is fingering, right? Yeah, 3 to 5. So this brings me into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which was, what was it? Oh, Knitting McPurley is having a Fosette along. Her pattern, the Fosette, which is a cropped DK weight sweater, short sleeved, perfect for this time of year. And I've already knit one, and I will put a picture here. And I know this is fingering weight, but I was thinking about trying a fingering weight one anyway. And what I'll do is I'll go down a needle size, because I think, you know, it's DK, it's knit with like a size 6. So probably what I will do is go down a needle size to a size 5 and go up a size in the pattern from where I knit last time. And I was thinking about using these for the color work and then getting one main skein in probably a neutral, maybe just a undyed, but I'm not sure. And putting these all together, because if this is 780 yards, that is, let me think, brain calculator, that's I can't think. That's at least 2 or 3 skeins, right, of DK, but of course I'm doing it in fingering. I don't know. I will bring something in to pull it all together. And the Fosette only has 3 colors, and obviously this is 6 colors, so it'll be more like a scrappy Fosette, except it's not scrappy. So anyway, plans will be made. My wheels are turning. That's what I'm thinking of using for this, because I was thinking I could just make a shawl, whatever, but I think I will wear a sweater, especially a short-sleeved sweater like that will be able to be worn right away. That will be nice. So, but don't you worry, because I am not going to abandon my current whips for these shiny new objects. I promise. I pretty much, I promise, right? I promise. Okay. So I am going to participate in the Fosette along. I'm really excited about that. I already have the pattern. I'll have to see when it starts and finishes. I think it's going to be going for a little while, so I hope I will have time. I'm not really a very good knit-along joiner. I'm not a joiner in general. I do my own thing. I usually feel like I don't have time to just jump in and do what everybody else is doing, but I think I'm going to do this one. And then Allie, the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast, and yeah, Little Drops of Wonderful, she is going to be doing a strawberry shortcake knit along in the summer, and so I think I'm going to join that, but that's not for a while. So I'll have to see what she is doing there. So now for a very brief life update. I'm trying to think, since my last podcast we had Easter. We had a beautiful Easter. We went to church. We had some special stuff in the choir. We didn't do a whole cantata this year, but we did a couple songs. We usually only do one, in the service, so that was really nice. We had an egg hunt with the kids after church and Easter candy and all that. Oh, the candy. But anyway, that was really nice. And then this past weekend was Toby's birthday and Ivy's birthday. Their birthdays are back to back. So that was another crazy thing. At first I had the Interweave Yarn Fest, and then the next day was Toby's birthday, and then the next day was Ivy's birthday. And, I remember because Ivy was induced, and I remember just being so happy that she wasn't going to be born on the same day as Toby. And I think actually it would have been easier if she had been born on the same day as Toby, and they could have shared one day and, had all those sibling rivalry issues. But still, right now, the way it is I have to really, I work hard to make Toby's day special, give him all his special meals and activities and stuff, and then the next day I have to do it again. And it's kind of like, I was telling David, because we have so many birthdays in this month. We have my mom's birthday at the beginning of the month, and then Toby, and then Ivy, and then Teddy's near the end of the month, and then in May is Grady's birthday. So I was telling David, it kind of feels like December this month for me, because it's kind of like that feeling of, there's all this special stuff going on, and it's fun. It's all fun stuff, but it's all stuff that I have to prepare for, and I have to be on top of buying presents and wrapping presents and, making special food, and there just is more cooking and stuff. So it really feels like a weird springtime December for me. And to be honest, by the end of this month, I'm kind of birthdayed out, but we still have a little bit more to go. What else is going on? Oh yeah, more birthdays are looming. Like I said, Teddy's birthday's coming up, but at least there's a little break. There's 9 days between him and Ivy, so that is good. And then, the only other thing that I was thinking about as far as a life update is Grady has been really having a weird sleep schedule. Like, he was doing really well and sleeping all the way through the night most of the time, or at least half the time. And now he is in this phase where he's waking up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we can't leave him in his bed because he tries to climb out, and it just doesn't feel safe. So he tries to climb out of his bed. So David usually picks him up and puts him in bed with us, and he stays in bed with us the rest of the night. Well, it's been really wearing me out, because sometimes I'll try to stay up with him and get him back to sleep and then put him back to bed in his own bed. And sometimes that works, and if I'm really tired, I just can't do it. And last night, David got him up, and I was so tired I didn't wake up at all, and that's never happened before. So I just thought that was interesting. Does anybody know what to do? I don't know what to do to reset this kid's sleep I don't know what to do to reset this kid's sleep schedule, because before I would have said, well, we just need to let him cry it out. But first of all, he's really panicky, and I just feel bad. I mean, he's still in our room because, mostly because he's waking up at night, and I don't know if he would sleep better in one of the kids' rooms or what. But anyway, if anybody has any ideas, let me know in the comments, because I don't know what to do. I'm just sort of surviving right now. But anyway, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you'll check out those things in the shop, because they will not be there forever. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye. Can you say hi? Say hi. Sit still.